I'm so glad I'm living my best life at the moment. But there was a time in my life where I was extremely burnt out. Yes. About 2 years ago or so, I was feeling very stressed emotionally, physically, mentally, feeling very exhausted. And I just felt like, I cannot do this anymore. Being a woman who's a doctor, a career woman, a mother, a wife, a ministry woman, and so many feathers to my heart. I was going through a lot of responsibilities, a lot of stress, from different areas, different angles. Even though I still had to appear like, yeah, I got this, but I knew things were not going right for me, my well-being, and I had to do something, and I had to do it immediately, and I'm glad I did what I did. And I'm going to be sharing with you what I did in terms of burnout. How did I navigate burnout? How did I overcome burnout? How come I'm living my best life now? Yeah, so I'll show you 5 things I did, to overcome burnout. And stay tuned. If you're new to this channel, welcome. I'm Blessing Ekunda. I'm a medical doctor and I work in the mental health area. I'm here based in New Zealand with my family, husband, and 2 children. I'm also a child of God. I believe so much in God. I love God. So welcome to my channel. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. I'm the confident woman. Right, so on this episode, I'm going to be sharing with you how I navigated burnout, my burnout experience, and I'll be sharing with you tips to navigate burnout also. So you see, I recently, went through burnout, and I also got invited to speak recently to a group of youths, career guys, women, who I was told to talk about how to, overcome or manage burnout, and it was interesting the feedback that I got from people. I realized many people are going through burnout, no matter how they present themselves to look like, you would never know sometimes, but they know that they are going through a lot of stress. I recently also had a friend who, went through burnout, and that was really, really exhausting for her. And so I thought I should share my own experience, because there are many people who might be going through this and don't know how to navigate burnout. But hopefully my story might be helpful to you listening to me. Right, so about 2 years ago, I was going through a lot with regards to my career. I love what I do. I enjoy helping people with mental health problems. I love my work. I believe that it's a calling for me, but I began to experience some challenges in my career, that were sort of like knocking me down. And as if that was not enough, I started feeling very stressed, feeling not motivated, feeling upset, like I was not happy to go to work. This is me that I love my work. I love seeing my patients, and I just started having this detachment from work, feeling very exhausted and tired. Waking up in the morning and just thinking, oh, I can't go to work today, man. I need to ring and sick. And it continued for a while. And I just told myself, Blessing, you cannot continue like this. Headache, body pain, this is going on, that is going on. I started taking things out on my children and my husband, becoming so irritable, for no particular reason. I just thought that you added to my stress in life, and I told myself when I said, Blessing, you cannot continue like this because they're not the reason for your stress. You've got to take a break, and I made a decision, I'm taking a break, break from this career, break from this training, break from all of this for my mental health. And I'm grateful that I'm in a training program that supports that kind of, decision, when you're welcome to take a break and get back on the training when you feel like going back, and I did, and my break was approved, thank God. And I decided to work as independently, to local, like a contractor. And to be honest, it's given me a better opportunity, a better chance to enjoy life to the fullest. Now I'm no longer as stressed as I used to be. I have an opportunity to do what I want to do. I choose the kind of work I want to go to, the shift I want to pick, when I want to work, how I want to work. I no longer have to wake up in the morning to be going to work. Isn't that amazing? Like, I'm living my dream, man. And it's just beautiful. I remember, just being on break for the last 1 year plus, it's given me a better perspective to life. I joined the gym. I've not been in the gym for a very long time. I joined the gym. I got a personal trainer. I got my dream body. I got my dream weights. My goal is achieved. I'm eating healthy now. Eating so well, sleeping better. A lot. I'm loving my life. And that's the truth. I'm praying better. I have more time for quiet time, praying daily. I have my journals, and I'm just focusing on self-care. And it's been beautiful, to be honest. I'm no longer stressed. I go to work to see my patients and I'm excited. I'm happy. Yes, I'm working at night, and sometimes, it can be quite stressful, not sleeping at night, but I go there and I'm giving my best to my patients, and I'm loving what I do right now. So how did I sort of overcome this? And I would like to provide you with some tips, to overcoming burnout. Could you be in the situation I was in at the time, right now, and you just feel like you're stressed, you're not motivated to go into work anymore, you don't like what you do anymore, you're just tired, you're fed up, you're like, I'm just tired, I'm aching in my body, I'm just like, things are not going well for me. I used to like this job, now I don't like it anymore like I used to do. It's taking a longer time to do things I used to do, and you're like, what is going on? I'd like to advise you. Number one thing is, I want you to realize that, if you're working for someone, it's important that you put yourself first. Yes, it sounds selfish, but let me tell you something. You cannot give from an empty cup. And your employer does not really care about you. That's the truth. They care about their work and getting the work done. So if you feel like you're not in that space, head space, physically, mentally, emotionally, to be able to give your best, it's important that you work towards taking a break, or work towards exiting and looking for something that is not as stressful, as what you're doing right now. Yes, it may be less money, and for what you care, like it may even be more money. Yeah, more money with less work, like what I'm doing right now. So it's important that you find out other things that you could do, that will not be this stressful. You could speak to your manager or whoever if your workload can be reduced, and if not, get an exit plan, to work towards getting out and giving yourself a break, because you do need a break. Don't wait till you break down. I had to take a break because I could have broken down mentally, physically, emotionally. That's what burnout is. Burnout is basically a state of you experiencing physical, mental, emotional exhaustion, due to prolonged stress, where you feel, due to that, you feel so overwhelmed with your work and your responsibilities. Yes, that is burnout. As a career woman, you can burn out. So it's important that you think about how you can manage things, your career, your responsibilities. What can you do? Can you get an exit plan? Can you delegate responsibilities to other people? Yeah, just to reduce your workload. So that's number one. Think of an exit plan, and sort of see whether or not you can manage what you got right now. Otherwise, it may be time to go. All right, so I think I will share with you, say 5 points, right? 5 points. If you're going through burnout, 5 things that you can do to manage your burnout experience at this time. Number one, I think very important, focus on your self-care. Your self-care is critical. Your self-care is important. Nobody will look after you if you don't look after yourself. If you don't look after yourself, who will you? Can look after your husband, children, everybody, but you've got to look after yourself. So your self-care involves your physical health, your spiritual health, your emotional health, your mental well-being. Yes, those 4 keys, they're keys to your own self-care. So make sure that you're eating well, you're sleeping well, you're not just eating junk food. Get to a point in time where you just eat because you need to eat. It's important that you become intentional. Become intentional about exercising. Exercising is good because it's releases happy hormones, happy chemicals, that make you feel more energetic, better. When I started gymming, I started feeling myself. I started loving myself. It's beautiful, so focus on your spiritual health. Also, I started spending more time. Now I have more time to actually study God's word, to pray every single day, and it's refreshing. I'm writing the things I'm letting down. It's so beautiful, things that give you joy, your emotional health, connecting with family, connecting with friends, going shopping, whether it's window shopping, whatever. Be intentional about doing those things that you love to do, because it will go a long way in making you feel better. Your mental health, you could take a break. Some breathing exercises could be really, really helpful. Some journaling, be grateful for positive things in your life. You can write them down. It just helps you to look at the brighter side of life rather than focusing on what is not working at the moment. So take your self-care very, very seriously. The second thing I will encourage you to do is yeah, like have a schedule, to help you, organize yourself and you know manage the tasks that you have so you don't feel overwhelmed. I think one thing that has helped me, even now that I'm on a break, now that I'm no longer, working as hard, is I mean, stress will still remain because I'm still a wife, I'm still a mother, I'm still carrying around. Those things are still there, but what has been very helpful is I've now learned how to manage my stress. So I plan ahead. I have a schedule. I have a time plan, so I don't feel like I don't feel overwhelmed with the things I have ahead of me, because if I'm able to break things down into small bits, then I achieve them step by step. I mean, I'm not competing with other people, I'm competing with myself. So I just take it down and I work at my own pace as God will help me, and that has made things really much better for me, despite all the responsibility I have. Breaking things down into small bits and setting short-term goals, working towards those short-term goals, really helpful. That's number 2. Number 3 is delegating responsibilities. I realized that I'm not El Shaddai, so I don't die. God is the El Shaddai. God is the only person that can be there for everybody. So I've learned to delegate tasks, and thank God my boys are now, at an age where they can sort themselves out with some things. I tell them, guys, you need to do this, you need to do this. So I don't have to do all of those things, if you need to get help, get help. I have someone who's helping me to do some cooking sometimes, so I don't overwork myself. I don't break down physically, mentally, emotionally. Yeah, so delegate responsibilities, delegate tasks. Even at work, if you're still, you don't have to do everything, things that you can delegate, yeah. I think the 4th thing that's important is to have boundaries. Boundaries very important. You cannot work without boundaries, because people would want this part of you, that part of you, encroach into your time. You've got to be able to say no. I mean, that's something powerful that you must be learn how to say as a human being, as a woman. Gotta say no, man. I'm really sorry, but I've got a lot on my plate right now, maybe another time. Yes, I'm sorry I cannot attend this party, something is going on in my life right now. I'm sorry I cannot do this. Yes, no is no. I cannot, I don't have time, I don't have the capacity to do this right now, and it's okay, because you cannot be everywhere at the same time. Sometimes you've got to say, you know what, I need time for myself to recuperate, I need time to breathe. So it's important that you learn to say no, have that boundary, very important. Other boundaries can be emotional boundaries, boundaries to your time. Excuse me. Don't let anybody just encroach into your time, calling you at odd hours, or some of us carry work home, and it's encroaching into our time, our minds, and consuming us. We don't even have time to do things that we love to do, things that we enjoy doing. Learning to say no and having boundaries, very, very critical. Number 5 is you having a supportive network around you. Sometimes when you're working so hard, you might feel so isolated, and it can be very emotionally draining, emotionally exhausting, emotionally tiring, but you speaking up, not feeling like I'm the only one going through this, nobody is going to understand me, and sometimes, some of us are so nice that we feel like we want to give our best, our all, and pour into everybody until there's nothing left to give, and you are pouring from an empty cup, but people are still expecting more from you, and you keep wanting to please people, and just give yourself until like you want to die. So it's important that you have that supportive network around you, people that can actually realize, Blessing, you are giving too much. Blessing, you're stressed. Blessing, what is going on? Take a break, pause, and you also speaking up that about how you feel. It's very important, because sometimes some people don't stop until they have a mental breakdown, or until they become very seriously ill. Don't wait to that point. It's important that you get, have a supportive network around you and speak up and speak out. That supportive network could be getting a counselor, getting therapy, speaking to your doctor. Very important, because when you start taking paracetamol for headache all the time, this headache that will not go, it could be stress. It could be that you're not sleeping well. It could be so many things. You're having heartburn, you're having abdominal pain, muscle cramps, and all of those things. It could be as a result of stress and emotional. You're just burning out physically and emotionally and mentally. So supporting network is very important. And if I should add one more thing, to all the things that we are talking about, is recognizing the early warning signs. So sometimes it's important to know what are the signs that I might be burnt out, or I might be experiencing burnt out, or I'm about to break down. You know, some of us may not know some of the signs, but they include things like, you know, you just having persistent headaches. You know, some of us begin to have heartburns. I've mentioned that. Some of us is abdominal pain. Some of us is this fatigue. You're just fatigued. Like you have not done so much work, but you just continue to feel so tired. You know, you feel so overwhelmed. You're like, any small, if they just add a little bit to your plate, like, hey, you start, you know, you feel stressed out. You feel overwhelmed. It's like your head space is clogged. You know, sometimes we become so irritable. You know, easily irritable. You begin to think, this person's after me, or this person's trying to, you know, make things, you know, bad for me, and you just start overthinking and over analyzing things unnecessarily. You know, you start speaking in rude ways to people around you. But you've changed. What's going on? This is not the person that we employed. You know, like this is not my husband too. This is not my wife. People around you start wondering, like, you're a different person. It could be that you're burnt out. You know, so recognize the signs and pause. Take a break. You know, you become so exhausted, so overwhelmed. It's time to take a break. Right, so I hope that these tips have been very helpful. They are things that have helped me too. You know, I'm on this journey and I do not take it for granted at all. Don't mind my voice, I'm just recovering from terrible cold. So but I hope that you have learned a thing or two from today's episode, you know, and I hope that you do not burn out. I hope that if you are experiencing burnout, you can walk your way out of this burnout and begin to enjoy life, because life is meant to be enjoyed, not endured. And I pray that God is going to help you. I just want to encourage someone who may be experiencing burnout at the moment. It's not the end. I know that if you don't manage it properly, it could lead to things like, you know, depression, anxiety, and all of those things. But don't wait to get to that point. You know, get the right help and begin to make a U-turn, you know, to turn your life, your health, you know, around for good. And I wish you all the best. Let me know, are there other things that have been helpful for you on your journey to preventing burnout, or coming out of burnout? Yeah, what do you think? I'd like to know. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. I'm the Confident Woman. Until I see you again, it's bye for now. God bless you.